And we are live. What is going on, everybody? This is Elliot in the DM host group Digital Marketing Hacks for Online Entrepreneurs. And I am so excited to come to you guys tonight because I have a she's become a dear friend actually in the last week. It's been a beautiful thing. Somebody I totally adore. Miss Luz Gonzalez. Luz, thanks for being here. I'm going to give you a better intro, but hey. Guys, Luz C. Gonzalez is a top online business coach. She is an international human rights attorney. She's a brand strategist. She's a startup founder, and she is the creator of the Zero to Profit Blueprint. And today she is joining us to deep dive into all things branding for your online business. And actually, I was interviewed just 2 days ago by Luz for her show, and it was just honestly one of the most enjoyable interviews that I've had in a long time. We had so much fun, so we were like, hey, let's do this again over in DM Host. Why not? So we wanted to share all this goodness with you guys, and hopefully you guys are ready. You have got your pens and papers and notebooks out because Luz is here to drop some serious branding value on you guys. All right. She is all about impact, all about profit. And I know that that's basically what we're all about here in this group as well. So Luz, without further ado, welcome to the DM host. We're super excited to have you.
Thank you guys. I'm so excited to be here. It is such a privilege and an honor to be here with you all and to have this amazing, isn't she incredible, guys? Alex is so incredible. So super excited to be here at two times in 1 week. I mean,
I don't know how we get so lucky, honestly. And Luz, I'm going to stop you real quick before we start. And what I want to do, guys, is anybody who is here on Team Live, give me a Team Live hashtag. All right, everybody here on Team Live, I want a Team Live hashtag. And then if you are catching this on the replay, give me a Team Replay hashtag. You guys know that I'm a weirdo. I track everything. I want to know who's watching at what time, right? I want to know which is our point of maximal engagement in this group. So make sure you represent either Team Live or Team Replay. Also, if you guys have any questions for Luz while she's talking, I want you to drop them in the box because we are going to be methodical. We're going to go through every single one of your questions. Okay, Luz, the floor is yours, my friend. The floor is yours. Let's have at it. Give us some good stuff.
Pulling out my microphone. So I wanted to start at the beginning. So when Alex said like, I'm like a lawyer. So I used to be a lawyer and I used to be in startups. I'm not doing any of those things now. So what I think you're going to hear from me a lot is focus. You got to focus to win. And if any of you were like, whoa, you're doing all those things, like, no. So in a previous life, I was an international human rights lawyer and I did startups, right? So I was in the startup world. And I think that background, especially being in the startup world and working in Silicon Valley and understanding how these companies create brands and how they use technology. And, you know, I remember being in Silicon Valley and looking around and seeing there's a huge discrepancy in terms of how small entrepreneurs are doing this and getting their brands, and what do we mean by brand, right? Let's even start there. So I have a funny story that I think speaks to what's going on here. So if we were live, part of me was like, raise your hand if you've ever been to the dentist. I can't see you, but we're going to play along. So I want you in your room at Starbucks, wherever you're at work, when you're watching this, when you're not supposed to be watching this, wherever this is happening, or just raise your hand if you've ever been to the dentist. Now, yes, right? Now, raise your hand if you're one of those people that sort of dreads going to the dentist. You're like, right? Like, do I have to? And so the dentist it's one of those things that we have to do. And I remember moving from San Jose, California, all the way up to the San Francisco area. And back in San Jose, I had my dentist who I adored, right? But it was time to find a new dentist. And as much as they were amazing and they had, this great, customer service and all those things, in San Francisco, I said, I'm going to find someone new. And I was looking for referrals and I was doing the whole, I was looking on Yelp and I was looking all over the internet because when we have a problem, where do we go to solve our problems? We go to the internet or our friends. Those are the two places. And then after our friend tells us about the place, we go to the internet, right? And so I was looking for a dentist. I was so committed to finding a dentist. And here's what happened. I looked for all of the, the Yelp and just like the things that come up on SEO. And then I arrived at their websites. And at each website that I arrived at, I was just like, oof, I just don't know that I can trust you, because, going to the dentist is kind of a big deal. Like, I need to know that your office is clean, and I need to know that you're going to treat me correctly. And I know that you need to have like your tech tools in terms of your dentist stuff. And so I remember looking for months and looking at all the referrals and everything, and no dentist made the cut. Why? Because their online branding sucked balls. It did. Sucked terribly. And that's what I did for years. I drove all the way down to San Jose every time I needed to see the dentist. Guess what that dentist had? And I know this is kind of, either like maybe you met your dentist 10 years ago and you can trust them even if they have an ugly website, but hashtag don't have an ugly website. Don't have a terrible online presence, because people aren't going to trust you. They're not going to do business with you, and you're going to be missing so much more than just profit. You're going to be missing impact. You're going to be missing, potential people that you could be bringing onto your team, but especially, you have 5 seconds. You have 5 seconds in which to make an impression. And so you are either going to make an incredible impression. Alex, I saw that you rebranded, and I was like, talking about branding. It's so timing.
I did that for you. I was like, I cannot have her on and not have a rebrand.
It was beautiful. I saw it and I was like, yes. So, but that's the effect, right? Like when you engage with a brand, you have an emotional reaction. And guys, we know this. You've heard this before. We don't buy rationally. We buy emotionally.
Amen.
If we know that we as human beings, all the people who are buying from you, they're not robots, they're human beings, and they are reacting emotionally to your online presence. And your online presence is composed of so many things, which we're going to be talking about during this time. You got to do it right. You've got 5 seconds, or you're going to lose a potential customer that could have been a customer, a client, a friend for life. And you're going to lose them because, like, you are an incredible person. You are incredibly gifted, but your website sucks. Your cover on Facebook sucks. And then I think, oh, you say that you're an elite coach? You can't possibly be an elite coach when you look like that, right? Like when your branding looks like that. So that is the bigger context in terms of what we're doing here and why this conversation matters, because there's just a lot of money that's being left on the table when we don't do this right.
Right. Absolutely. 100%. And honestly, like really, it was time. I knew that it was time for a rebrand. I had been thinking about it and I'm like, oh my God, she's coming. Okay, I gotta fix this. So yeah, definitely I was inspired, and you're 100% right. I mean, this is how we search today, right? Yeah. It's friends' recommendations, it's internet, and you go to the internet and you see some of these websites, like I run. I don't care how good you are. I don't care how many reviews you have. I don't care, whatever. If I'm getting skeeved out because you're still stuck in 1993 or whatever, like, no. Yeah.
Yes. I had a friend, right? Like, I had a friend who she said, well, I'm a really high quality coach, and, I like the branding doesn't really matter. My website doesn't really matter. I was like, honestly, I love you, and I would never in a million years do business with you because your website sucks. And I think especially if you are working with a millennial audience, you're going to have the younger audiences and the more professional audiences. Do you want to be making money? Do you want to be selling, high ticket items, offers? Then you've got to get serious about your online brand, because you're going to be missing a lot of customers if you look like an amateur. And there's really easy ways in today's world to not have to be an expert designer, to not have to like hire people, and you can really win. So there's 5 things, there's 5 steps that you have to follow in order to do this right. And if you do these 5, you're going to be on such a, you're going to be on the right path to being successful in having a badass online presence. Should we dive into those?
I want to dive into those. What I want to tell people is that actually, if I forgot to say this in the very, very beginning. I was so excited you were here. Guys, Luz has generously provided actually a very cool freebie for you guys. She's going to do a giveaway at the end. And so I did not make that link available in the show notes. I wanted to make sure that we got to give this away at the end. So what's going to happen is at the very, very end, we're going to give you a special hashtag, and everybody's going to drop that special hashtag into the box. And when we've seen that special hashtag enough times, then we're going to drop the link to this really cool freebie that she's going to give you, which I think is probably related to these 5 things. Am I right?
Yes, yes, yes. So
very cool. All right. So let's dive in. I'm excited.
Dive in. So 5 things that you need to do to just kill it in terms of your online presence and to look like $1 million brand, right? You can do this yourself. So the number one thing, I've already talked about this, hashtag no ugly websites allowed, is your website. You have to get serious about your website. There are so many stories here, right? There's the story of a photographer that I met back in Texas, and he likes to work with luxury real estate agents. Mm-hmm. And I remember talking to him and saying like, oh, that's really cool. And I went to his website, what happened again? And I was just like,
it doesn't say luxury, right?
Right. Like your brand does not say luxury in any way. And the thing is that in today's world, you are yourself, you're a brand. Whether you like it or not, you're a brand.
You are your brand.
And you are represented on multiple, what I call storefronts online. So you are represented not just on your website, but you're represented on every social media platform. Here's another. So one of my clients, she's a doctor, right? Mm-hmm. And she is she's been a doctor for forever. And now she wants to make, money from her experience and her brand and create a brand that actually.
Right. Kind of monetize her knowledge, her expertise in a different way online. Right.
Exactly. And so she was talking about how she was looking for herself. And as she was looking for herself online, she was finding all of these like inaccurate, and bad posts about her, saying things that she wasn't an expert in, and saying that she worked at this clinic she actually didn't work at, all this erroneous information. So either, this is so serious, guys, either you claim your brand and you claim your power on the internet, or the internet is going to claim you.
Yeah, so powerful, so true, absolutely.
So powerful, and it starts with your website. So, and again, so we have a freebie where I'm going to be talking a lot more in depth. We just don't have enough time to cover all of these things.
Right.
But one of the things that we need to think about in terms of your website, it includes a few things. When we think of real estate, there's 2 pieces. You own the land, and then you have the house that sits on the land.
Right.
When we think about websites, the same sort of concept applies. You have the land, which is your domain.
The domain, yeah.
You have different plots of land, and then any house that sits on that domain, that's the actual website. That's the present. That's when, somebody knocks on the door. Hey, I want business from you. Hey, I want to learn from you. They knock on the, on the door of the house. And so the house needs to be pretty, it needs to be presentable. But the thing is that your brand is going to be represented both through the domain and the brand. And so when we talk about websites, I want you to be very intentional when it comes to what is the name that you are representing yourself as on the internet. And then also, what is your winning strategy for your website? So your website, when people arrive, here's a really quick hack. Since we're all about hacks here, a little thing you make. So you have 5 seconds. It's the 5-second rule. And as you think of your websites, think of when you first arrive on somebody's website, the stuff that you see on the screen, that's called above the fold. So back when we had newspapers, before you had to go below the fold and with a brochure, if you had to switch things over, that's the first impression that people get. So when people arrive at your website, above the fold, before they have to start scrolling, that's where you need to have a call to action. That's where you need to have, we're going to be talking about lead magnet, right? That's where you need to have, so back to the photographer, you need to have a beautiful hero image. What's a hero image? And hero image is going to be a high quality, big image. And this is just going to be a basic template that everyone can follow, right? So you have a big image that represents the lifestyle of what you're, the promise. What is the bold promise that you're promising the people who are part of your tribe?
I love it. I love it. So hero image, guys, is the bold promise. What's the big result? What's the big thing? Like, that's what you want to convey right above the fold as your big image. Okay. Very cool.
You're going to have the picture, and then the text on top is the actual bold promise. The hero image, it's the image itself. And then you have a call to action. So your call to action needs to be before anyone needs to scroll. So that's a quick little hack in terms of what we need to know about your website. Number 2, you need to, on your website, and right, all these things are connected to each other, because your online presence on the internet is composed of all of your online storefronts. What do I mean by online storefronts? Anytime that somebody searches for you and finds you, you are being represented, your business is being represented, your brand's being represented, right. And you need to be super intentional about what happens after that.
But we're talking Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, doesn't matter, wherever you are online, you got to get like cohesion, and these things need to be happening. Yeah. Okay.
So cohesion is so important, right? And this is an aside, and I'll get back to lead magnets. And your lead magnets are going to be part of your cohesion strategy. Yeah. So you need to look the same on Facebook as you look on your website, as you look on, say, if you have a YouTube, if you have a podcast, if you have your Instagram, you need to have uniformity in colors, in styles, in fonts, in all of these things. This all is important, and it matters, and it speaks to how you're presenting your business online, even to your business card, right? Like, it's so easy to go to Canva. Canva is going to be your best friend. Canva is going to be your best friend when it comes to design and making sure that everything looks like it was professionally made. There's tools out there that you can pay people, but honestly, if you want to keep things super low budget and you like the design, unless if you're like, I hate design, I hate colors, I don't want to deal with any of this stuff, and you don't do it yourself and pay someone. But I would really encourage you to think about what are the emotions that, that people are going to be feeling, and what are the colors, and then making sure that you do have brand uniformity from platform to platform. Yeah. And then all of these places are going to lead them to the next step. So when people self-identify to be part of your tribe and they go, ooh, that's me, right? Like, so say for me, it's how to attract people online if you are a consultant, a coach, or a solopreneur. So somebody's going to self-identify and be like, that is me, I need help with that. And then they're wondering, but what's my next step with you? So we can also think about this kind of like dating. So when you're dating, and suppose you are, at a bar and you see a cute person, across the bar, and you're like, they have potential. They look good. They're doing their personal branding well. I like what I see. Are you immediately going to go and be like, will you marry me?
Hey, baby.
You don't start with a marriage proposal. You start with a, hey, you want to buy me a drink? Right?
Yeah. Exactly.
Strategy. But you don't start with a marriage proposal, and you also don't start with a marriage proposal with your business. You start with a hello. Let's establish some sort of like relationship here, and that is done through a lead magnet. And so a lead magnet, it's also called a freebie. It's called an opt-in. It can be called these different things. Basically, what it is an invitation for a person who is self-identified to say, hey, I'm really interested in what you've got to offer, to say, hey, I want to take the next step. I'm not ready for marriage yet, but I could go on a date with you. And you say, oh, great, let's go on a date. Here is an ebook. Here is, a mini course. Here is, you can
cheat sheet or whatever. Yeah.
Checklist. There's so many things that you can do. And so that is the purpose behind your lead magnet. And so that is how you're going to start identifying the people that are part of your tribe. And Alex Elliot has a great, whole concept behind this. Your people are going to be funneled into a Facebook group. That is where you're bringing your people together. So lead magnet. Then number 3 is going to be if we think about it more broadly, so number 3 is having a badass email list. But if you think about it more broadly, is having a space for your, so we said hello, right? The first thing is like, what do they see? The next part was, what do they do after they've seen us and they like us and they want to get to know us better? Lead magnet, right?
So it's website, lead magnet, and then we're moving deeper into the relationship, right? I love this. Okay.
So now that we're deeper into the relationship, it's like, well, what restaurant are we going to? Where are we going? What are we doing, right? Where are we meeting up? Are we meeting up in your, newsletter? Are we meeting up in your email, in your Facebook group? Are we meeting up? And I was thinking about this. There's can't speak words.
That's all right.
Where communities are actually built. And something that I think Alex has done incredibly well is thinking and knowing that community is so important. You're building more than clients and customers. You're building an entire community. And so you need to think of where are these people that have self-identified, and then what do I do now? So you need to have these containers on the internet for your people. And so one of those containers that is so important because you own it, say Facebook. I mean, Facebook is, I don't know that it's ever going to go away. It might go away.
But you got to own the list. You got to own the list.
Because it's the thing that you own. And it doesn't mean, so people say, well, just one thing versus the other. No, don't be dumb. Like, you have to have your list and the Facebook group and, all the places where your people hang out. Because guess what? Some people like newsletters. Some people like hanging out in the Facebook group. Some people are gonna hang out in whatever other community you have. And so just be really cognizant of how do your people want to interact with you. Right. And then what's gonna be, so number 4 is going to be your content strategy. So as you guys can see, this is just a relationship management system. We go from, I see you there, you look cute, to like, ooh, we're talking, hello. Oh, we're going on a date. Oh my gosh, this is a great date. Like,
you're ascending the relationship. Yeah.
Yeah. Like, maybe I'm going to introduce you to my friends.
Right.
And it's slowly going through. And so the next piece is you need to keep saying hello. So how would it be?
Keep saying hello. I like that, guys. Write that down. Keep saying hello. Keep showing up. Keep sending little messages. Yep.
Wooing them, right? Like, always, always be wooing. Always be wooing.
Always be wooing, guys. # always be wooing. I love this.
Win at relationships, or if you want to win at business, you have to always be wooing. And so people buy, you guys could probably finish this for me. People buy from people that they
know, like, and trust.
Know, like, and trust. Mm-hmm. And I'm going to add one more. Know, like, trust, and are in front of them, and that they are present, right?
Amen.
I can like and trust that cute guy that I met at the bar 5 years ago, but I haven't seen him in 5 years. So it doesn't.
So where'd he go? Yeah. Right? He's not around. Right.
What's going to happen? So you have to be there. Remember, we talked about all of the containers where your people can be. Well, you got to say hello. So how are you saying hello? And that is where your content strategy comes in. And this is where your omnipresent content strategy is relevant, and the repurposing of information is super critical. So you are going to say you create a video and it's a badass video and it speaks directly to your tribe. You're like, okay, well, that's going to my YouTube channel and I'm done. No, you're not done.
No, you're not done.
You're not done. And it'd be dumb to just leave it there, because there was so much value in that piece of content that you could have gotten out of it. So guess what? You can turn that piece of content, you can transcribe it. All of a sudden, you have information that you can use for your newsletter. You have information that can be repurposed into an Instagram post, that can be repurposed into a Facebook post, that can be repurposed into a Medium post, that can also be repurposed. The video can be repurposed from YouTube to Instagram to IGTV to the native, Facebook, right? So this is the omnipresent system of content. You repurpose your information and it goes everywhere. And then you take, say, like next week, you take one sentence from that and you turn it into a quote, # always be wooing, right? Like,
love it, love it, love it.
And can give you content for months
Months, absolutely. And guys, let me stop Luz for 1 minute and just say, I put Luz's social, all of her social properties in the description of this video. So it's like above this video or below, depending on how you're watching this. I want everybody, when we are done, to go follow her on all of her platforms, because you will see a master content repurposer in action. I have watched her. She practices what she preaches. It is amazing. So continue. I just wanted to give you a little shout because you're amazing. I've watched you.
People, and guys, like, this stuff works. Most of my clients and customers, they come from online. They come from social media. They come from the online world. They come from, I saw a video, or maybe they've met me, but guess what? I kept saying hello. Was I calling them all the time? No, but they were following my stories. They were watching my videos. I kept showing up. I was like, I'm looking good, baby. Hello. Like,
look at me over here. I look good. You really want some of this? Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
So you keep showing up, and that is how both you can charge higher prices, you can have people flock to you, and you can, when the right people arrive at your doorstep and they're so excited, they don't get disillusioned because, like, oh, well, you looked cute on the picture, but in person, it's a different story, right?
It's so true. So true.
And so the last step, number 5, is you need to have a system. So this all has been the relationship dance, right? So now we're ready for not quite marriage, right? So we're at this place. This is, I like how this is just turning into, like, also relationship coaching.
This is all, guys, we're just doing relationship coaching here. Honestly, that's all this is, really.
just relationship. We wore red on purpose. It's not about
right, exactly.
So now you're at the point where you've been dating for a month or 2.
Yeah.
Okay? It's like, it's 2 months, and you're like, all right, so what are we doing here?
Yeah, are we getting serious? Like, are we going to be exclusive? What's going to happen? Yeah.
What are the next steps? And this is where the value ladder, this is where you need to have done your homework, right? Yeah. So people have gone, and people are going to go through these steps at different speeds.
Sure.
And so once, somebody can be like, yes, amen, I am there. I am like, let's go grab, like,
we're moving in. Right.
Right? And if they're moving in, you got to be ready. The sofa's got to be there, ready for you.
So true.
No, not just the whole thing, right? So be ready. Have your house be ready for them to move in at whatever level they want to.
I love this. This metaphor is glorious. Yeah.
So it's working out really well. It was not planned, guys.
It's amazing.
So this is, I think for most of you, this is not going to be shocking or new information. But you're going to have a low tier, a mid tier, and a high tier offering. And so you're going to have the lead magnet. Guess what a lead magnet is? In this whole process, you are a guide. You are Yoda, right? Like
Sherpa, yep.
Yeah, you are the guide and they are the hero, and you're guiding them along this process, getting them. The date has nothing to do with you. They're not marrying you. They're marrying their results. The bold promise, remember that bold promise that we talked about at the very beginning? That's what they're marrying. And you've guided them along the process, and now they're ready to say yes to themselves.
Oh, I just want to stop. You just said so many amazing things. You are the guide and they are the hero, and they are not marrying you. They are marrying the result that you promise. I mean, this is so good. They're ready to marry themselves, the future version of themselves. Guys, I hope you are taking notes. This is just killer.
Yes.
Keep going.
Are marrying their potential. They're marrying their results. They're marrying their future. When they say yes, they're not. And so as entrepreneurs, we need to leave our ego aside. It's never about you. They're saying yes to themselves. And especially if you sell high ticket offers and high ticket, services or products, they are saying a hell yes to themselves, because you were an amazing guide and you gave them, through your online presence, everything that they needed to know to say, I am ready for the biggest hell yes of my life.
Honestly, like, just having made the biggest hell yes of my life to Liz Benny, That is so true. Like through all of her online presences and whatever, like I got to the point that I was ready to make the biggest hell yes of my life. That is such an amazing way that you just described that customer journey.
Yeah.
Really cool.
And it's just, that's the thing. And like, I think again, as entrepreneurs, there can be so much ego in this. And again, you need to fall. And we're going back to love. You have to hashtag like, love all around. It's all about love. You have needed to make a commitment at this part of the process to your customer. Yeah. You need to fall in love with your customer. You're not falling in love with your products. You're not falling in love with your services.
Amen.
You're falling in love with this kind of customer, and you are making a commitment for life. You're
Absolutely.
saying, I am so excited and so committed and so honored to work with this kind of person that has self-selected because I've done the work. You have my online presence and branding. And so they're able to go through the process. And now they say, all right, like, I trust you. I know you. You've been present.
Yeah.
How do we work together? And you're going to have a low tier, a mid tier, a high tier. It's actually, it's a more complicated system, but just for the basics, we're going to go low, mid, high. Yeah. And then they say yes to themselves.
I love this. I absolutely love this. You know, you just said something that was really powerful. Fall in love, guys. Like, I want to break this down a little bit. Fall in love with your customer. You know why? When you fall in love with your product and your product fails out there, because, right, sometimes we launch things and they fail. When you fall in love with your product and it fails, you're kind of dead in the water. But when you actually fall in love with this customer, this avatar, this person that you want to work with or that wants to work with you, then you can, I mean, whatever their needs are, what is a relationship? All a relationship is getting closer to somebody and figuring out their needs and how you can meet them, right? So you're going to have this love affair with your customer and you're going to absolutely fall in love with them. You're going to figure out what their needs are. And then you're going to be able to customize products around those needs, right? And now you're not in love with your products. You're just in love with serving them in whatever way they need to be served. It is so powerful, this paradigm shift. And I hope you guys are getting this.
Yeah. I think this is how, and you're dating them, right? You're wooing them. You're getting to know them. You're asking them, what are your top questions about this area? And you don't build your products and services based off of what you want. You ask them, Russell Brunson, he talks about how to make money, like how to be successful as an entrepreneur. Find a hot market, right? Find a group of people that there's already momentum there that you can fall in love with. Ask them what they want. Get to know them. Talk to them. Ask them what they want. Give it to them.
That's it.
Doesn't say, the part of the process doesn't say, what do you want to provide? What do you want to, like, it's not about you. You have to know your market. You have to do your research, do your homework, and you have to build products and services for the rest of your life for this group of people, which is why it's so important over here at the beginning that you've done your homework.
Absolutely. Because you want to be attracting those people. You want to be attracting the right people, right? The people that you actually can fall in love with.
Yes.
And who will fall in love with you. Absolutely. Okay. So good, Luz. Oh my God. So, whoa, everybody in the comments is like, like, I can see minds being blown all the way around. So, I love how you just covered that. And I want to cover it again. So it was website. It was, lead magnet.
So it's the, how do you find me? Right.
So, I love it. So how do you find me? I'm writing this down along with everybody else. We're doing, how do you find me? Got it.
How do you find me? Find me, what are your storefronts? It's like all of the places where your brand, where your business potentially could be seen or found by your ideal clients. That is the first step. So the main one, the one that you have to, if you're going to focus on any of them, focus on your website, right? Focus on, because people are going to do their homework. They're going to go to their website. And if you don't have a website, I've heard this, and you guys can disagree with this focus, right? So some people say websites are dead, right? Like, nobody cares about websites. You should just have like your funnel. The thing is, if you haven't already done your homework in terms of actually building out a brand, how can they trust you? Your website gives them a space where they can walk around the house and they have, they have an about me, right? Like you have the about me, they get to know you, and you have like a welcome video. People make emotional decisions when they're buying. So unless if you're doing a really good job and so you don't have a website and you just have this one place, like make it easy for them. It's your job. Like this is your only job. Your job is to be a guide. Give them what they need, and they need to know why they can like you, trust you, trust you, and why you're present. And so it's going to be storefronts, like, trust. Definitely kill it on the website. Do not have a website that looks like 1997, and don't have anything on the internet that looks low quality. There is no reason for it. You have Canva.
There's so many templates out there. Yeah.
Like you can't, everyone. I don't care if you're 80 years old. I don't care if you're 5 years old. Anyone can, with the tools that we have access to, have beautifully branded everything. So that's step number one. Step number two, you want to?
Okay.
So you remember.
Got it. Step number 2 was the lead magnet. Is that right? That was the lead magnet?
Yes. Yeah.
We're getting to know each other. Okay.
It's how do we take the relationship to the next step?
Got it.
And make it sexy. Wear something.
Yeah.
Right? Don't make it boring.
So often I see lead magnets that look like somebody took 15 minutes to like slap some crap together and it's so worthless. And there's a reason they call it the freebie graveyard, right? Where you just get a freebie and you're like, eh. I mean, that is like when you're on your first date or whatever, like make your best impression. Like, oh my God, like that's your time. They're going to base all of their decisions on whether they want to do business with you based on this one thing. Like make it amazing.
Yeah, absolutely. So make it amazing. Wear something sexy, wear your best undies, the whole thing.
Love it. Love it. Love it. Oh, so good. Okay. Number 3 is we are ascending the relationship. And what are the containers? Like an email list, a Facebook group, right?
Correct. Absolutely. So how are you going to talk to your people?
How are you going to talk?
To be, keep being present, and what are all the containers in which you are going to further the relationship with your tribe?
Yeah. Very cool. Very, very cool. I love this. Number 4, we had websites, we had lead magnet, we had email list. Now we're getting serious. We're starting to get serious. It's our value ladder, isn't it? We got to make sure there's a couch in the house.
Number 4 is your content strategy.
I skipped. Look at me. I'm already trying to move in. All right.
That's a good thing, right? Like you want them to go as quickly through as possible.
Yeah, man. I'm already like, all right, let's do this. I'm in. I'm all in. Let's go.
Yeah, you want them to, you want to, and that's the power of the brand. You want to empower the people that are like, I'm a hell yes, I'm all the way in.
Right.
But the ones that are like, I still got to, have to get to know you.
Right. You got to show up. You got to be everywhere. Right.
Yeah. Omnipresence on all the things.
All the things. Omnipresence. Got it.
Like without having to be a, designer, or without having to have a content team behind you. There are really ways to make this happen. You have so many tools out there, but again, don't have it look crappy. You're just, if you have the option of crappy content, this could be a little bit controversial. Crappy content and no content at all. I would be at the no content at all, because you are setting a terrible representation of yourself. People are going to think that you just don't take your work seriously, that they don't want to work with you. So rather than making a terrible impression, make a great impression or no impression at all.
Right. I love that. And I'm totally with you. A great impression or no impression, because silence is better than noise.
Yeah.
You want to be signal or silent. You don't want to be noise.
Yeah. There's a lot of noise in terms of content. Don't be noise.
Yeah, absolutely. Very cool. Okay. Number 5 then is, now we're going to move in the value ladder.
Yes. Now you can decide Are we, am I meeting the friends? Am I moving in? Am I meeting the parents?
Like how serious are we getting here? Okay. I love it.
Step number 5.
Cool. Very cool. Mid ticket and high ticket. Okay. So you have the low ticket, mid ticket, high ticket. Very cool. And this is amazing. And then at this point, they are entering your world and you're falling in love with them, not your products, right?
Lifetime relationship.
Yeah.
And now, Russell talks about this. You have created such an experience. You are the provider, that you are guarding the experience of this beautiful person walking through a dance with you, walking through a relationship with you. And now it is your duty. It is your job. It is your moral responsibility to show up.
Yeah.
And you need to then have multiple ways in which people can work with you. Mm-hmm. And so at the very minimum, low, mid, and high, but maybe you want to think of premium. And so some of these people who are super successful, they've done all of this really well. And say someone like Russell, he's able to just say, all right, at the highest level, $1 million to work with me, right?
$1 million a day. I'll fly out to you. $1 million a day. Yep.
For like people like Tony Robbins, it's like, you have to pay me $1 million just to be on my waiting list. It's really, that's what you're able to do when you do this right. If you don't do all of this, you're gonna be struggling the whole time.
Yeah. So what I'm really hearing you say is getting this right from the beginning is absolutely paramount to anything. Yeah. That's really what I'm hearing you say, because what ends up happening, I'll even just speak super honestly for myself, like listening to you right now, I'm obviously doing a personal inventory and I'm going, wow, I have a lot of work to do. I got a lot of work to do. Cool. I'm feeling super convicted. It's great. It's awesome because it really gives me a chance to improve. And it's obviously something I've known I've needed to do. Haven't really understood exactly how, right? I just came into this world, just started throwing spaghetti at the wall and found a little bit of success in one niche, but you don't know everything. And so it's so important. Guys, you see me sitting here, head down, pen in hand, notebook in front, taking notes. It is so important that you guys understand that there is so much to learn in this space and you better always be learning. Hashtag always be learning in the box right now, everybody, always be learning. So, because when you don't get it right from the start, what ends up happening is now like me, I've got to go back and fix all my old mistakes, right? And so if you're just starting out, it's such a great opportunity to really sit down and have a think about who you want to work with, like how you want to be perceived. What's the feel of your brand, right? You guys all saw that I did I did some new covers and stuff today. Actually, my VA who's watching, she did the new covers. And I wanted energy. I wanted excitement. I wanted like, blah, kind of thing. And that's what we got, right? That's when you look at that, that's how you feel. So you really want to ask yourself, like, what's behind my brand? Is it energy? Is it soft? Is it serious? Is it like, what's the feel, right? So really, really good.
Yeah. So this whole process that we were talking about, I would say this doesn't even start until there's the, you have your storefronts, but there's all this work that needed to be done ahead of time to make sure that as people are walking, through the door, that they want to be there, that the people are going to be showing up, right? So you're going to have to do your keywords research. You're going to have to do market analysis. You're going to have to study the competition. You have to, at this point, because of, I think we get to a point because of hard things that have happened in our lives and our journeys as entrepreneurs. We learn some things that we wish wouldn't have taken us that long to learn. And I think one of the lessons that I've learned is don't commit to a product or a service or think like, this is it, I found it, until this is the one, until there's actually traction.
Amen.
Traction is the go ahead, the only one. If there's no traction, this doesn't even come into play. Don't start building the house until there's traction.
Absolutely. Traction is proof of concept. Until there's traction and proof of concept, you've got a nice idea with nobody with their wallets out, right? You need people with their wallets out. And honestly, you're 100% right. You know, even when I created the OGAC, it was like, I hope this does well, but I didn't know if it was going to do well. Like I had no idea. And until like, you know, we started seeing like sales come in. It's like, oh, okay. And we did a fast and dirty, sloppy job on like not sloppy, but you know what I mean? Like it was just a quick and dirty kind of job. And now I look back and I go, I want everything better. You know, like now there's people, and now I can because there's traction, right?
Yes, now you can, and now you build the house on the right foundations. But the thing that happens, and so coming from Silicon Valley, what I was talking with my clients about was in Silicon Valley, there's this whole concept of the lean startup methodology, right? And
Let's talk about that. Let's talk about that.
There's this whole concept of, as a startup founder, you don't build anything. You have no permission to start writing code, to start like doing anything until people are throwing money at you.
I love it.
This whole concept of pre-selling, especially in this world of services and products, pre-sell all the way, baby, right? Say for my online course where I walk people through how to do this, it's on pre-sale, right? It was started as a concept. People paid me for something that wasn't built yet. Yeah. Like that is how you get proof of concept. Do not, and the thing that I would add to that is have a proof of concept that is like a hot, and by hot, I mean like lots of momentum, lots of transactions, lots of energy happening, proof of concept, not like, ooh, I got 2 sales, I made it, right? Like people again, and this is why the marketing and your online presence does matter. And so you do want to have some sort of concept. And so as we think about all of this, what really is going to, it's like the pre-work is know the market. There are 4 main markets that you can play in. There is the money market.
Mm-hmm.
There is the health market. There is the beauty market, and there is, which one am I missing? Health,
wealth, relationships, and you have beauty that you've put in there. I like it.
Relationships, beauty. And so these are the large markets in which people are already, there's a lot of transactions that are happening at low, mid, and high tiers. And so say if you are in like, you really love old clocks, and that's like, I want to start a thing around old clocks. Is there a hot market there? And so the question for you is, could you do it? I'm sure you could do it, but do you want to spend 100 years doing it? Or you want you're walking in the Sahara and your shoes are melting and like it's the wind coming at you and you're dying, you're like, oh my God, what did I get myself into? Or do you want to make it as easy as possible where you're like strolling on the beach in Hawaii and you're like, oh, people are throwing money at me, right? So
exactly.
You have to know what you're signing up for, and to know what you're signing up for, you got to do your homework. You have to know, are there a lot of transactions? Are people already buying these things? Where is there, and so that is a red ocean, right? Where there's a lot of people buying, there's competition, but competition is good. Competition is not a bad thing.
Competition is great. It shows that there's people with their wallets out, right? That's a sign.
Their wallets out and they're paying. But I also want you to pay attention to how much are they paying? Are there a lot of people that are paying $2? Because if you want to play that game, you're going to be stuck playing a game where you need a lot of volume. Or are you playing a game where people are easily like pulling out their pocketbook and saying, here's $10,000, here's $1,000, here's $50,000. What game are you playing? And what is the transactions for that game that you're playing? And so you got to find that out and say, is the customer that I've decided to fall in love with a customer that for the rest of my life, or at least right now, is the sort of customer that's already saying, here's some money to somebody else. And then what is your complimentary offer that you have to write? That's what you can't do this without doing your homework. You can't do it by just being like, I am here. I am going to be successful. You can't do that.
I am here.
I'm here. money just land on my lap, right?
Yeah. And Spring's making a good comment. And I think that what you want to understand, or what's important Spring to understand, is micro niches can charge amazingly high prices, but the micro niche has to be a niche that people are buying in, right?
Yeah.
Like, I think that's the point. Absolutely. Like, look, luxury yacht travel, or luxury, like helicopter rides in New York City for executives, super niche. So people are actually spending money in it. So you got to ask yourself, it's not just that it's super micro niche, it's that it's micro niche and people are actually spending in it, right? So those two things have to go together.
Yes, absolutely.
Super important. Yeah.
So I mean, if you have like the larger market, the question is, are you operating with one of the large hot markets? And then there's your sub-market, right? And then you have the niches. And as you study the niches, the niches, sounds like we're going to travel to the niches. Or like maybe a disease that you got, like, I got
right. You picked it up, that night.
I started to tell you that you have niches. But
like, don't tell anybody I've got niches.
You have to know that there are niches, especially you want to make high, like large amounts of money at the beginning. Then you have to know there are high ticket niches, basically, who are already paying for that sort of thing. And then you have to study the hell out of those products and services. And you have to know, what are they doing right? What are they doing wrong? Where is there a gap in the market?
Yeah.
Where there's a gap that actually leads to lots of pain. So people only do anything. People only ever take action for two things. That is pain or pleasure. And which one, and as much as we might like it or dislike it, which one converts higher?
Pain.
So if like, you're gonna have to find, where is the pain in this hole in the market. So say we have this, this niche, or this hot market, and then we have all these niches, but then there's this like pain point that like people just, no one's helping. No one was helping with Facebook groups. No one was helping with, these specific things, with like, how do I present myself online? Then you look at that pain point, and then as I speak to my clients, they say, well, are they my competitors? Are they my, are they my partners? And I'm like, if you do this right, they're not your competitors. They become your partners. Even though you're all playing in the same, you're swimming in the same ocean. They're your partners, because they're
complementary.
You're complementary. And that's how you want it. Like, that's how you do it right. Where the likelihood of you making money is higher from the beginning. You immediately, from the get-go, have so many partners that you can work with, right? Yeah. Like, that is the right way. And so as people go through your whole system, you're set up to win. So basically what we're saying here is, set yourself up to win from the beginning.
From the get-go, yeah.
Like, I never watched the movie, but Sarah Bullock, where she's like, so many entrepreneurs do that. They're like, I'm going to be an entrepreneur. I'm going to be a millionaire. I'm going to make so much money. And it's like, how? You're going into the forest without a map, without a strategy. You haven't done your homework. You're going to get killed by a bear. That's what's going to happen.
It's a fast way to get killed by a bear. You're so right. And, I even see it. I have seen some people come through OJC, and they want to make a group about something that, they are passionate about. So it's like all about their passion. But when you dig down into the keyword research and you really try to figure out, what is the market saying? What is the market, you're trying to take the pulse of the market. There's nothing there. And it's like, this is going to be hard for you. This is going to be really hard for you. And I know you're passionate about it, and you can stay passionate, but you're not going to make money. It's just not going to happen. Right. Yeah. So, and that's a hard conversation for people, because they want to make money on it. They're attached.
Yeah. And that's where you're making it about you, and you're not making it about them. And if you're making it about you as an entrepreneur, it's just going to be harder. And so do you want, or do you want money? Right?
Do you want hard, or do you want money? It's like, that's the choice. It really is. Yeah.
And totally. I love with incredible, amazing people. Now, when I think of, there's my family, and then there's my clients. In terms of my favorite people on the face of the earth, there's my family. And I fell in love with a group of people that every person that prescribes that, yeah, I'm part of your tribe. I am so committed to this group of people for
the long haul. Absolutely. I totally get it, because I feel the same way. It's like my family and my tribe, and you just, yeah, absolutely. Totally get it. I love it. So I'm going to switch the tenor, if that's okay. Is that all right?
Yes.
I want to ask you a question that you asked me the other day, because I thought it was such a great question, and I was so curious about what your answer was. So we're going to have a little fun with Luz, if that's okay with everybody, because she's been so generous with her knowledge and time, and I know you guys have gotten probably a ton out of it. I know I already have like 2 pages of notes. So I want to know, Luz, who or what is your spirit animal? This was my favorite question.
So for honestly, anyone who has, for like 4, 5, maybe 6 years, let's see, 2014, 6 years, 6 years, I've been asking that question.
I love it. I absolutely love it.
I remember going to a speed dating event back. Everything's hashtag dating. Everything's dating.
Hashtag dating. This entire thing, guys. Hashtag dating. Everybody.
Literally about entrepreneurship. This was about dating. And they're actually all the same. It's all about relationships.
It's all the same thing. It's all relationship based. All of it. Yeah.
It is relationships. So I went to the speed dating thing, and oh my God, it was painful, right? People were asking, so what do you do? And I was like, right. So more fun. What's your spirit animal? So I have lots of practice with this question for 6 years.
I love it.
Spirit animal. It's a combination. So when I asked you this question, you were like, I'm going to go off script and do my own thing.
I went way off script when you asked me. I was like way off the res.
So I'm going to do the same. Maybe still within the realm of animals. So I am a combination of different animals.
I love it.
Oh, one of them is, and I really connect with these animals. Like, I don't know. So there's a great person. He's a speaker, and he just wrote a book. It's called There's No B Plan for Your A Game. Bo Eason, and he has you. Oh, it's so good. You guys should go get it.
I'm writing it right now. There's no plan B.
There's no plan B for your A game.
I love it.
I love him because he's like, you gotta be the best in the world. Damn it.
I love it.
And that's the standard that we hold ourselves to. So anyway, he has you impersonate an animal as you like get on stage, and so you get to be like a jaguar. So anyway, as I think of the animals that I have affinity with, in the conversation, it's going to be a wild horse, right? A wild horse, that feeling of just galloping full speed. You're just like going. And the only other beings that can be with you on your journey, they have to be wild horses as well, right? Like they don't want to be held back, and it's just like open field. So it's just that feeling of sprinting. And I'm a runner. I've been a runner for like 10 years. So just that feeling of open roads and just space and possibility.
Freedom and
entrepreneur sort of spirit. Then the second one would be an elephant. So I think my elephant is the very like the homebody, the protector, the like, these are my people, back off, right? They are really, they're tribe animals. They watch out for each other. They have each other's backs. There's so much caring in that community, and I really, back to my startup, we had these spirit animals, so I definitely like brought in the elephant, and the elephant was like, we care hard. So I think that
we care hard. I love it.
Hard, right? So one of my superpowers is my caring. It's my love, and I will not be told that that's like something that I should hide or that's a bad thing. And so,
amen.
My elephant, right? Like, let your heart shine.
Absolutely.
And the last one is going to be like a Black Panther. Just like
I love Black Panther too. Oh my God. Okay, keep going. I love Black Panther.
So like, just like dangerous, competitive, like don't fuck with me because, like, you don't know who you're messing with kind of thing. Sexy and mysterious and all those things.
Yes, yes.
The 3.
I love it. I absolutely love it. Totally resonates. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Best answer ever. Love. So cool. Okay. So Amani actually asked a really good question. Amani said, how do you know your spirit animal?
Ooh.
I like that question. How do you know? How do you come to that realization?
That's a great question. I've been asked that question in 6 years. Oh my gosh.
Isn't that amazing? I know, I saw the question and I was like, huh, so simple, but so like, actually revealing.
Yeah. I think you connect with the characteristics of an animal that okay, so this is how I think about it. When you think of the best parts of you, and that's when I think of my spirit animals, they represent the best parts of me, the strongest parts of me.
Yeah.
So I think of when I'm in my power, when I'm showing up and I'm fearless and I'm, you're walking chest, held high.
Yeah.
What are the components of who's showing up when you are that person?
That's
and I
awesome.
think that there are, because I've asked this question for years. People will say, I'm a bear because I'm strong, but, mellow at the same time, and I'm a protector. Yeah. Or you might think I'm a cheetah, right? Because I'm bold and fast, but also frail in some ways. Yeah. Or I'm a butterfly or, a hummingbird. And so it just, what I think you just take some time and think about it in terms of what characteristics do you see out there with animals, and what pieces of that speak to you?
Yeah, very, very cool. I love that question. So I am super curious. I want you to tell all of us about your latest project, your Zero to Profit Blueprint. Can you please spend some time breaking that down for us?
Yes. So it's super exciting. So it is an online course where, for the people who, when you think of starting your online business, right, your online presence, your online brand, and you're feeling overwhelmed, you don't know where to begin. You're like, there's all these platforms. Is it services? Is it products? I just don't know where to begin. This is me holding your hand, right? So the one-on-one coaching is more expensive. But this is me. I wanted to be able to provide the same guidance and coaching that I provided my one-on-one clients,
right,
to more people, so they would be able to have the same sort of benefit. And the only way that I thought of being able to do that was through creating an online course. So the online course, we go into some of that. So a lot of being an entrepreneur is also just your mindset, right? Oh. It is
99% of being an entrepreneur is your mindset. Everything, it's 1% strategy and tech. Everything else is mindset. Yeah.
So it's such a mindset heavy endeavor. And so I made sure to go into mindset and start with mindset, but then we go really technical in terms of, all right, Luz, you talked about the 5 steps of the journey we need to walk them through. I feel lost. I honestly don't know where to begin. I don't know domain. What is the domain? What does it mean to host my website? Right. How do I even start my newsletter? Do I need to be on Facebook and on Instagram and on YouTube? And I'm like, I just,
what do I do? Yes.
If someone is feeling like that and just like, I don't even know where to begin, so I might even just not do it at all. This is the perfect program for that sort of person, right?
Yeah. So it's granular. It's really granular and specific.
Like, I hold your hand and we go into the details of how to do your market, analysis, how to study the competition. I give you spreadsheets.
Oh, wow. This is serious. I love it. Okay. This is good. So really like starting from the beginning and just getting it right.
Whole journey that we talked about.
Yeah.
It's holding your hand and guiding you through the very end, all the way through building your value ladder, but starting to think very intelligently about what the end product is going to be. So say, I have someone who just wrote their book, right? And they were thinking that they were going to start with products. And I told them, well, you could start with products, but I really want you to consider all of these things in terms of what your strategy is going to be. And he goes, oh my God, if it hadn't been for this perspective at the beginning of my journey, honestly, I don't know where I'd be. And that's why I created it, because I started with a lot of the people in the expert space telling you, you need to build this thing. And what happens, guys, at the end of the journey is you have a shiny new product, a shiny new thing that no one wants. Yeah. And you're not making any money and you're feeling so defeated and so disappointed. And I saw too many people going through that journey. And I was so tired of seeing friends really, really struggle. So it starts with a mindset, but it goes granularly into how do you do your market, you know, the analysis for the market research. How do you understand what, you know, what of the 4 main markets you're going to be in? What are the sub-markets you're playing in? How do you identify your niche?
Right.
Little hacks in terms of like, you know, I tell my people that they should have an incognito email. So that's one of the hacks. You guys are getting a little hack from
I like it.
So you have an incognito email in which you're doing even additional research that's kind of compiling on itself. And so they're doing that and just you know, if they have questions, I don't even know how to open up. So some people, and I don't mean to hurt your feelings, some of you guys have a Yahoo email or an AOL email or, you know, like mail. And we were talking about online presence. That is part of your online presence. And so that speaks to you, some aspect of your business and your online presence got left back behind, you know, like before the 2000s.
Right.
And so I speak about, you know, how to do these things. So if you're
like
feeling
updating things,
if you're scared of technology, it's like, you don't have to pay attention to all the technology. You don't have to be on all of the social media platforms. No, you don't need a YouTube channel. Some of you guys do need a YouTube channel, and I walk you through how to start your YouTube channel, how to start a podcast, like how to do all these things if you want to do them. But I also tell you, many of you don't have to do that.
Right. Maybe you don't have to do all the things. Right. Exactly.
How to do the email, how to set up an email marketing system for yourself, how to think about your content strategy, how to do the omnipresence system, right? How do you repurpose your content to be everywhere? So when people are like, she's everywhere, he's everywhere.
What's going on? Yeah.
And then a huge piece of it that I was so committed to, because everyone in the marketing world, and I love marketing, I am a marketer by heart.
Yeah.
But in the marketing world, it's just, right? And I just spent an entire presentation talking about why your presence matters. And the thing is, guys, we live in an and world. Your brand matters and sales strategy matters. So I spent an entire module talking about sales, because if you hate sales, if you feel funky about sales, if you're scared of sales,
it's going to show up.
Have a beautiful product and you're going to struggle with sales, right? You're going to have the whole package. You're going to have done your homework, and the branding is going to help you so much. Branding is going to accelerate a yes, but you still got to ask for the yes. And so
so good. Guys, write that down. Branding's going to accelerate the yes, but you still got to ask for the yes. So you still need that sales process and that strategy. So good.
Right? Yeah. And so we do an entire module on sales, and I call it integrity-based sales. So how do you do sales that doesn't feel icky? That when you
I love it.
Yeah, that when you do sales, it's called an empowered yes, right? When the person says yes to themselves, to those results, they leave that offer, they leave that experience that you've provided them with being like, I just made the best decision of my life. I am so excited. Here's my money, right? So
yes. And that is exactly with my recent experience with spending more money than I've ever spent before. I walked away going, yes. Like that was the right decision. Yes.
And that's how sales should be. And so we go into an entire module on sales. So there's 13 modules. There's expert interviews with people who are talking about everything from SEO to structuring your website, keyword research, you know, the Facebook groups. There's so much information in terms of experts. So it's freaking loaded. I've been told that it is really severely underpriced for the amount of value. at some point very soon, I'll probably double or more. But it is loaded with value. And so it's called Zero to Profit Blueprint, because I wanted someone who's walking this journey by themselves to have the blueprint to say, okay, here is the roadmap. Here is what I need to do. Here's step by step. Here's the technology I need to use. Here are the tech tools. Like, what is Canva? How do I use it? Do I need to, how do I create thumbnails for my YouTube channel? If you're creating a YouTube channel, how do I create, art for my pod, like all those questions.
I love how granular this is. Like you're literally answering all of the questions that could potentially come up, because there's so many, there's so much to learn.
Because I had all those questions, right? And these questions that were out there, they give you the overarching strategy, like create an online course, but no one.
And you're like, how? Yeah.
You were wondering what microphone, you're wondering what lights, you're wondering what tripod, you're wondering all those things. So I was just like, I just don't want someone to suffer the way that I suffered. Yeah. And then I saw so many people in this space suffer, and there were no answers. I spent hours, guys, on YouTube videos trying to figure out all of these things. So I was just like, let's just accelerate somebody else's progress through this entire journey. And so it's super granular. It is, what do I need? What do I need to learn about each of these steps, and getting to a place, where you're making those sales, you're excited about sales, and you've built the entire frame and structure for people to arrive at a brand that they love and to leave with an empowered yes. Or I guess to start the relationship with an empowered.
Yeah. Absolutely. Fantastic. Oh my God. It sounds, in a way, it was funny because one of my follow-up questions was going to be, so what makes this unique and different? But I'm clear. What makes it unique and different is that you have left no stone unturned, no detail unaddressed. I mean, it just feels very comprehensive in that way. Like you anticipated all the questions that are going to arise.
Yeah. I mean, it was, as someone who was doing this myself, and with all the questions that I had, and that I knew, like, talking on the phone about these technicalities, like, did you figure out how to do streaming? Can I stream from my DSLR? What camera should I use? Like all these questions that we had when you are a digital entrepreneur, when you are trying to have your brand online. Yeah. And honestly, if for the people that don't have guidance and structure around these things, it could take you years.
It's a nightmare. It's a nightmare. I still try to figure stuff out all the time, and I'm like, I get so frustrated and I can't. And I'm like, somebody help me with this. I can't do it. Like, I just don't have time, right? It's more of a time thing than anything else. And then I just run out of patience.
And that's the other thing. It's like, what stuff do you need to pay attention to make money?
Yeah.
And what stuff, because everyone's going to be like, ooh, shiny new object, shiny new thing. Get this thing. You need to be, and it's like, no, you don't.
No, you don't. Don't believe the hype. Yep.
Hashtag don't believe the hype.
Hashtag don't believe the hype.
Make sure from the beginning that it's going to make you money. Do the right strategy, show up, do the homework, and profit.
Yeah, very true. Well, Luz, before we give out your amazing freebie that you're going to give everybody, two things. Anything else you want to talk about, feel free. You have an open forum. And what's the hashtag you want everybody to drop into the box to get your free thing?
Awesome. Ooh, hashtag. So anything else? Anything else? I would say you guys have, like, you're here for a reason. So, I think I could make this about business, and I'm not going to. Mm-hmm. And I think this is all connected, right? So what I want to say, given that it's an open forum, I want to say, and I think this might be the title of my book at some point, like, show up. Ooh. You're here. You are, like, you haven't come this far, wherever you are, to only come this far. Amen. So show up, keep showing up, do your homework. Don't go into the forest without a plan, because you'll get eaten by a bear.
Right.
Know that the bears are out there. Be smart, but show up, and you have to believe in yourself. And I was going on a run. I do a run every morning, and I was listening to Tom by Lou, mm-hmm. And he talks about how at the end of the day, you are going to have to be the loudest cheerleader. You're going to have to believe in yourself before anyone believes in yourself.
Absolutely.
You have to choose yourself and keep choosing yourself and keep choosing yourself no matter what. So get smart, commit to something that actually matters to you, get to know who you are, right? I think that the journey of entrepreneurship is really the journey of finding oneself.
Yeah, we talked about this. So true. So true.
And your purpose. And I believe that, you know, either you can have your purpose and you're like, I wasn't born and I know what my purpose was, or you can find purpose. You can create purpose. Yeah. And creating purpose comes from living a life that's bigger than just yourself, right? And you can really do that through entrepreneurship. And entrepreneurship is about servant leadership and it's about service. So find something to commit to, like find something and show up, right? Do your homework, be smart, get a map, but show up and be the loudest cheerleader for yourself wherever in the journey you are. You got to keep being that cheerleader.
I love this so much. Thank you. That was a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful way to finish our time together. I really, really appreciate that. Guys, yeah, continue to show up for yourself, right? Show up for yourself, show up for your people, show up for and commit to a purpose that is bigger than you, right? Because that's what this is all about. That's absolutely what this is all about. I said to Luz the other day when we had our interview, I said that I love that entrepreneurship is really just like extreme personal development masquerading as the game of money. We think this is the game of money that we're playing, but what we're actually playing is the game of extreme personal development, extreme personal evolution. You know, the mindset coach that I'm working with right now, he has an amazing question that I said to Luz, and when it hit her, it was like, boom, hit her right in the chest. When he said it to me, it hit me right in the chest. And it is this. His name is Cody Jefferson, and he's a part of this group. So Cody, if you're listening, I love you, man. So this is the question that he asked himself every morning when he wakes up. Write this down. He says, what part of me has to die today to be the man I said I wanted to be, right? What part of me has to die today to be the person I said I was going to be, right? So keep asking yourself that question. Keep shedding old identities that don't serve you any longer, right? Keep becoming and keep showing up for yourself and your people. So with that, what's your hashtag? What's your hashtag so they can get this freebie, my friend?
I'm showing up.
Yeah, I'm showing up. Hashtag I'm showing up. I love it. Everybody drop hashtag I'm showing up. When I see enough hashtags I'm showing up in the box, that's when I'm going to drop the link and not a minute sooner. I am showing up. Let's go. I'm showing up. And then we're going to get this link to this freebie.
Are you showing up? Are you showing up? And so let's see you showing up, guys.
Let's see you showing up. Absolutely. Amani says, quotes, it's not about the thing, but what makes you become. And the thing could be your business, your relationship, money, etc. Everything we are aiming to achieve is not about it, but who we become in the process. Amen, Amani. That is so, so, so true. I'm showing up. I'm showing up. I am showing up. I am showing up. Woo! I'm showing up. I'm showing up. I'm showing up. I'm showing up. I love it. I love seeing you guys show up. Love it. All right, here we go, everybody. Here we go. We're grabbing Luz's free mini course, the 5 things you must do to build a profitable 21st century business. And here's the deal, guys. We did like a 10,000 foot view, but she's going to go into more detail in this mini course. So if you guys enjoyed today's interview, you will absolutely eat this up. I want everybody to go grab this mini course here. So many more coming in. I'm showing up. I'm showing up. I love this. Going to drop this thing one more time so you guys can grab this. This is amazing. And I just want to say to you, my new friend, Luz, how deeply I appreciate you, how in such a short time you've become dear to me. I feel so aligned with you. I am blessed to know you and just call you friend. It's beautiful.
Yeah, you've created an incredible community here. I am learning so much from you. And I just want to say that I acknowledge your spirit. I acknowledge your presence. I acknowledge your heart. You have just like this huge heart that's like exploding fireworks. And I think everyone sees that. And I know that you must know that, but just in case, it's such what's like, not like, we're like such a privilege, but like a joy to be able to call your friend.
Thank you. I feel the same way. And what emerges for me is a namaste to you. That in me, what you just acknowledges that in you. I see it. It's what drew us to one another. It's absolutely what drew us to one another. And guys, how we met was really cool. Luz actually went live in Liz Benny's Kapow with Liz Benny group. If you guys are not members of the Kapow with Liz Benny group, also go join that and go join Luz's, go follow Luz on all of her platforms that are in this description. But she posted an amazing video in there, and it was just so raw, real, authentic, honest, beautiful. And I was like, who are you? Oh my God. I was like, I have to know you. So I was like a moth to a flame. It was amazing. So it takes one to know one, my friend. And I am deeply honored and blessed. All right, everybody. We love you to pieces. Thanks for hanging. And we'll do this again sometime soon.